Hey everybody, just before we get into today's video, I just want to take a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm just kidding. I actually want to just let all our viewers know that we have properly set up our Patreon. Go to patreon.com/ObscureMediaTV or click the link in the description to view our new Patreon with brand new perks. Our perks for the time being are rather small, but as they get bigger and bigger, the perks will get better and better. So go to patreon.com/ObscureMediaTV or click the link in the description to check it out now. You can be a patron for as little as $3 a month. That's patreon.com/ObscureMediaTV. Now enjoy the actual video. One of my favorite eras for movies is the 1980s, a time where movies were both super cheesy and super iconic, having massive amounts of fans to this day. Movies like Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, Goonies, Ghostbusters, I mean the list goes on and on. There is a movie I love that I am surprised no one talks about all that much, and that is The Karate Kid. The Karate Kid is about a teenager named Daniel, played by Ralph Macchio. Daniel moves from New Jersey to California with his mom. Right away he doesn't fit in, as he is not like everyone else. Eventually he is beaten up by a group of karate kids that all go to a karate school called Cobra Kai Academy. As this is happening, an elderly man named Mr. Miyagi, played by Pat Morita, gets involved and manages to knock out all the teenage guys, saving Daniel and immediately taking him under his wing. Together they discover that the teacher at the school where these kids are at is an incredibly angry and violent man who has taught these kids to be just like him. Miyagi then decides to teach Daniel karate so he can join the All Valley Karate Tournament and face his bullies head on. In order to train Daniel, Miyagi gets Daniel to do things like paint his fence and wax his car. Seriously, are you teaching him karate or are you just getting him to do your goddamn chores? What the fuck, Miyagi?
Come on, Miyagi, take that karate outside.
Daniel, as you would expect, gets annoyed with this, but turns out Miyagi actually was training Daniel in karate this way, as the movements he was using to do the chores are similar to the movements used to do karate, apparently. Honestly, don't look too deep into this movie, it's not meant for that. Eventually the tournament comes and Daniel manages to get up the ranks and get to the final round and defeat Johnny Lawrence, who is the head student of Cobra Kai Academy, aka the biggest asshole of Cobra Kai Academy. Daniel kicks him in the head and down he goes. Daniel wins, and that is basically where the movie ends. Although I missed some details, that is basically the gist of The Karate Kid. However, that is where talking about the film will end, as this video is not about the film, but about an animated series that is based off of the film, simply called The Karate Kid. Let's get into it. The Karate Kid was an animated series that came out in 1989 by a company called Deke Entertainment, who are known for creating shows like Inspector Gadget, the Super Mario shows, and the Sonic the Hedgehog shows. They started in the 70s and grew to be huge through the 80s and 90s, before eventually shutting down in 2008 after being bought by the Cookie Jar Group. The show's plot follows both Mr. Miyagi and Daniel, but unfortunately both characters are not voiced by their original actors. Daniel is voiced by Joey DiDio. He is known for being the voice of Wheeler and Captain Planet, another show produced by Deke Entertainment. Miyagi is voiced by Robert Ito, who is known for playing Lieutenant Chang in Star Trek The Next Generation, as well as Mandarin in the 90s Iron Man series. Both of their performances in the series aren't that bad, but Daniel really doesn't sound like Daniel from the movie.
Hey, Allie with an eye. How you doing? Good.
Oh, that wimp? He ran out on me.
But I don't find the voice annoying, so I guess that's a win. The voice of Miyagi wasn't terrible, but it did feel like a Mr. Miyagi impression and not Mr. Miyagi.
Wax on, wax off. Breathe in, breathe out.
Honorable gentlemen is what Daniel-san called real jerk.
It would have been nice if they were able to get the original actors, but I guess these guys are passable. They are also joined by a woman named Taki Tamari, voiced by Janice Kawai, who later became the voice of Ami in the show Hi Hi Puffy Ami Union. As well as Jenny in My Life as a Teenage Robot. The The goal of the show is for the trio to find a miniature shrine with magic powers that belongs to Taki's people in Okinawa, which is a real place in Japan. Why do Miyagi and Daniel have to be the people to find it? Or literally just because. There is no explanation. The first episode, titled My Brother's Keeper, simply just starts off with the characters heading down raging rapids to find the shrine. No explanation of why they are doing it or how they know Taki, just the characters heading to a village in the Amazon to try and get the shrine. The only reason why I know it belongs to Taki, aside from the Wikipedia article, is that she briefly mentions it in the episode.
Tomorrow busy day. We build new raft.
And then we go home to return the shrine to my village.
Like, I'm not asking for a huge introduction here, but there should be at least an explanation of some kind as to why Daniel and Miyagi need to find the shrine and how they know Taki, because as far as I can tell, there isn't an explanation at all. After they get to land, well, more like wash up on land as they flip their raft, they end up saving a native named Kala, who is being attacked by his tribe who see Kala as an outcast where they think he has magic powers. It turns out the reason why they think that is because he has the shrine. How he got possession of the shrine? I got no idea, but you know what? This show isn't the type of show meant to be looked too deep into, as it's a low-budget 80s cartoon for fuck's sake. We're just gonna have to take it for what it is. So Miyagi finds out he has a shrine after he is taken by the hunters to Kala's village, where the leader, who is voiced by the amazing Jim Cummings by the way, tells him why they banished Kala, and then they hang Miyagi in a tree above some alligators where he eventually falls into the river and escapes before being eaten. The rest of the episode has Daniel trying to teach Kala to basically grow a pair and get the strength to challenge the leader of the village to a duel. They don't use the word duel, but I felt it made it sound more badass than it actually is, so fuck off. After some failed training attempts at winning a grappling match with a hunter, Kala feels like he is ready to face the tribe leader, but Daniel feels like he isn't ready and takes his place. As the duel is happening, the leader discovers that Daniel took Kala's place, and they sent hunters into the forest to capture Kala and take the shrine for themselves, which the tribe leader uses to turn himself into a jaguar and goes after Miyagi and Daniel. Kala manages to escape from being tied up and manages to free himself and gets to Daniel and Miyagi just in time to take the tribe leader's power away using the miniature shrine. This works, however the shrine is knocked into the river and sent downstream. The episode then ends with Kala becoming the new tribe leader by knocking the old tribe leader off of a log, and Daniel, Miyagi, and Taki take off on their raft to follow the shrine to its next location. The episode itself is honestly not that bad. The animation, while low budget, is passable to me and has some decent action scenes. However, my only gripe is I feel it doesn't introduce the characters that well. Yes, this is a cartoon based on a movie, which means you should know who most of the cast are, but the episode still doesn't explain why they are having to get this shrine, aside from it belonging to Taki's people. It makes it a little more hard to understand what's going on and why they are having to do the things they are doing. Aside from that though, the episode itself isn't all that bad. The rest of the series follows a pretty standard formula. Daniel, Miyagi, and Taki all go to somewhere in the world like China, Paris, New Jersey, and many other places in search of the shrine. While searching for the shrine, they usually run into some sort of problem related to the shrine, such as the shrine being swallowed by a whale, the shrine being used as a prop in a movie, and they have to sneak onto a set to retrieve it while dealing with an arrogant, stuck-up movie star who thinks he's the shit. Seriously, this guy is a fucking asshole who must do every little thing in his movie and loses it when the director hires Daniel to be the stunt double and stunt coordinator.
How would you like to be Kevin's stunt coach?
But I don't know anything about making movies.
He's right. I don't need this kid's help. I'm the star around here, Oscar.
You would be a barbecued marshmallow if it wasn't for this boy. He's coaching you.
Stay out of my life.
By the end of every episode, they usually resolve the problem but lose the shrine, having to continue following it, hence more adventures and more episodes. However, they retrieve the shrine and bring it to Taki's people in episode 8, The Return of the Shrine, which sounds like a Star Wars reference now thinking about it. Speaking of Star Wars references, they make probably the most cringiest reference that I've ever heard in episode 2, The Greatest Victory.
Whoa! This is Star Wars time!
God, that was terrible. In episode 8, The Return of the Shrine, Taki finally brings the shrine home to her people. After this happens, he bumps into a man named Yoshi Ishida. Yoshi is a member of the Ishida family, who have a centuries-long feud with Taki's family over the shrine. At first, both feel the feud is stupid and want to end things, so Taki invited Yoshi to a celebration her family is having to celebrate the return of the shrine. As Yoshi leaves to go to the celebration, his grandmother, wanting to avenge her ancestors, sends her nephews to the party as well to try and turn Taki Taki against Yoshi. They do so by making her dance with one of the nephews, which angers Yoshi, as Taki just promised to only dance with him. This ignites the feud once again, and Taki along with her family end up fighting the Yoshidas, only to lose the shrine again so that way more adventures could happen. This episode is okay, but personally I feel like this not only should have been the last episode, but this episode should have been a two-parter. I think that because this episode feels very rushed. Like after the feud ignites, Taki puts on his samurai uniform and gets trained, and then fights the Yoshidas all within a few minutes. And I feel this should have been expanded more, especially the training. That's why I feel if this was a two-parter, they would have had time to fit everything together, and they could have had it end similarly to how this episode ends, with Taki rescuing Yoshi. She also could have rescued the shrine, thereby ending the feud between the families and also being able to share the shrine as well. This would have made for a nice ending, but no, they rushed this episode and made it so they can make more episodes, which they only made like 5 more after that. They were actually supposed to originally do a 65 episode run and syndicate it, but instead it was picked up by NBC, who ordered 13 episodes and that's it, which kinda sucks. But anyway, let's just get on to the last bit of the video. So what do I think of the show? Well, from what I have watched, it's kind of bad, but like enjoyably bad. Going back to Star Wars again, it is like the Phantom Menace for me. It is bad, but it's a bad movie that I can pop a bag of popcorn and enjoy, and this show is the same sort of thing. There are occasional errors such as voices coming out of characters' mouths but their mouths don't move.
Why not tonight? My old friend Papa Tony will put us up. Come on!
But this is a low budget AIDS cartoon, so I can look past it. If you want to check it out for yourself, my biggest tip is to not have any expectations whatsoever. This is the type of show that can only really be enjoyed if you don't take it seriously. Otherwise,
you're gonna have a bad time.
The animation for the most part is passable. The action scenes work pretty well and the characters move fluently. There are times where you can tell they cut corners by simply moving the animation still up and down, such as when they are on the rapids, but aside from that, I don't have any major problems with the animation. It is not the best animation from that decade that I have seen, but it is far from the worst. I don't normally do a 1 to 10 scale in these videos, but since this is more of a review than a video essay, I would give the Karate Kid animated series a 5 out of 10. The series feels very average to me, as while it has its moments, there isn't anything that makes it unique or memorable to me. If you want to watch something good, then watch the first Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, which I have heard is amazing and worth watching. Anyways, that is all for now. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like content like this, so remember to subscribe, ring that bell, like this video, and comment down below. I also quickly want to add that there are Halloween themed videos planned, so stay tuned for that next month. For now though, this is ObscureMediaTV, signing off. Hey guys, I just want to add this before we go. I want to thank someone who goes by the name Lady Liza on Instagram for making my new sprites to use in videos. They came out so damn good, and I honestly suggest everyone watching this click the link in the description below to see her Instagram to check out her work. She also takes commissions if you need any sort of drawings done. So seriously, check her out now. Anyways, that is all for now. Take it easy.